Hello everyone, I am so happy that you found me, and I'm so happy that I found you. I believe if you're on this video at this time, it is God ordained. It's not a coincidence. There's no such things as coincidence. You was led here by divine timing, and hopefully if this right now don't have anything to do with what you're going through in life or anything that's on the front of your mind, then in time it'll be a planted seed when it's ready to hit fertile soil and it will bloom. All right, this is part two of me talking about red pill men. All right, red pill men. And the first part was very passionate. And all of my videos are passionate. I don't do videos that I'm not passionate about. So don't mistake passion for anger. It's a difference. I have no anger and hostility towards me, and I don't have anger and hostility on their worldview. I'm just saying, let's look at another side today together. You don't have to enjoy it, like it, or want it. I'm just putting it out here. And like I said, God will direct people to this that need it, and it will just bounce off of people who don't, or they never clicked in the first time, okay? So I found it interesting in the first place that we talk about a red pill man, a blue pill man, a black pill man, and a purple pill man. Because when you think of pills, you think of sickness. Pills is medication. That's what it falls under. A pill is medication to cure, help, maintain, destroy. You're given pills to fight off disease. And you say, well, there's vitamins. But vitamins are you saying I'm deficient or I'm just okay and average and I want to build up and be better. So I thought it was strange that men just put themselves in a category of a pill. A pill is needed for men. So something is wrong. Correct? Correct. Pills also give the implication, if I take this substance, if I ingest and make this a part of me, I will have quicker or very shortly the desired effects from this. That's what I got to do. I get that pill, get that little water. Now I just sit and let it do what it do inside of me. But even in the medical field, especially mental health, they're like, don't turn to pills for the answer. We have pills on the street, secular, dope. We have heroin. We have pills everywhere that do a job that we want. But doctors, many are reluctant to give pills. And the truth is, I have a daughter that's a doctor. When people go to the doctor to seek help, they are expecting to be given something. The doctor can know that this virus is going to pass in 3 days. Wait it out 3 days. Old folks would say, a flu 3 days coming, 3 days staying, and 3 days leaving. 9 days, you good. But people, when they go into a doctor, do not feel like they have been treated or looked at or cared for or received an answer unless they get a pill. So doctors prescribe pills even when they're not necessary. They bow to the pressure, or people won't come to them. They don't do nothing. You go in there and talk to the doctor and he don't even pay your attention. He don't give you no medicine or nothing. And they go to that super prescriber who's going to dose them out. Pills, red pills, blue pills, purple pills, black pills, orange pills, white pills. You need a pill to feel well, to feel like you in the process of getting better. But the point is, you have to do some work. Even with the pills, say get some rest, take in fluids, move around and exercise, go outside and get some vitamin K, sit on the edge of the bed, hold the pillow and cough. You have to do some work and put in some effort to make yourself better, along with outside resources that you have deemed appropriate. This is all you interacting. There's no responsibility placed outward for your health and well-being and your ability to be okay. And that's the truth. We cannot count on others to make us whole and well. It's not their job. Out of some billion and something, how many billion people, and you think all these billion people, when they bump into you, it's their job to make you happy. Expectation leads to disappointment. This world don't have to be kind to you. This world don't have, we have autonomy. We have free will to decide. I'm not interested in making you happy. I want to do things that make me happy. And for you to berate me or try to shame me or try to force me to do it, you're wasting your time. I don't have to. I have free will. I get to change my mind. I may even want to do it last month, and now I say, I'm not interested in making you happy. I get to leave and go. And vice versa, men, you get to do the same thing. Tell them women, I'm not interested in making you happy. This is going to end and I'm leaving. Or you can even say, I don't stay around to make people whole and well. I stay around for companionship and to enjoy myself. Everyone has a God-given right to decide what they want to pick and choose. The Lord said that. He don't force you to love him. He don't force you to choose him. That's what makes us different from a lot of other religions. We have free will to decide on our own, and we take the consequences if we do decide or we don't decide. Free will. No one owns anyone else. That's slavery. Prison is if you're forcing someone to do this for you, and you know good and well that's not what they want to do. You'd bring it out. Like you say, women manipulate men for whatever, but men, first thing they do is cut them off from all kind of other people and start isolating. So both sexes do a lot of things. It's not just one group doing something. Relationships take two people. God created 2 by 2. It's not good for man to be alone. So in every relationship, you have people doing wrong and doing right. Marriage wouldn't be at so high of a divorce rate if everybody just decided to do right. The rate of people not even considering getting married or having children are on the increase because people don't act right. And we trying to say it's a character flaw for the whole female sex. Not true. You don't date a billion women at one time, so you shouldn't define a billion women at one time. Women the same way. Women don't date a billion men at one time, so they shouldn't define a billion men. God, you know that he said not one of us is the same. Not the same fingerprint or what. We get men that fall into cults and gangs very easily, and women, we don't even dress for men, we dress for women. Because men be like, you don't even have to go through all that for me. I like you the way you are. And you look at him like he's crazy. And you put that on and go out with your girlfriend. Beauty parlor, hair parlor, club, this and this and this. You're doing it for women. You're in competition. I want to be pretty on. You don't stand on your own self-worth. And like I say, now we got this expression, high level. Don't fall into that, women. Just leave it alone. Step away. Words mean things. Worldview. No one gets to say my value to me. You can go behind my back and say my value, but I don't receive that, and I will not work with that energy. I don't bring in that kind of energy in my life. You know, it's not for me. I don't fall into those manipulative moanings and weepings. If you complain too much and point the finger too much, you're just not a responsible, self-responsible person. You shouldn't have so much time on your hands to point at every slight, every misunderstanding, every perception of ill, discussing it over and over. You need to be making plans and plan A, B, and C, how to bypass that, go around it to achieve what it is you want to achieve. So it all boils down to what you really want. You have in your life what you want. Look at your life right now in your life right now, you have in possession things that you want. If you got an abusive husband, he's there because you're letting him rest right and reside there. If you did not want him in your life, it would not be there. People make decisions. I will keep this in my life because, and it's your choice. If you have in your life 10 children, it's because you wanted it in there. Because there's birth control or abstinence. All those choices could have been made to not have. So we say if you're poor, the degree of poverty is still your choice. Because there are success stories of people that climb out of poverty. There are even success stories of people who stay in poverty. People say, I be working, they'll walk by a job at McDonald's or picking up buggies in Walmart to have cash in hand. Some money in hand. I'm too above that. I will feel inferior to my friends and neighbors that see me. But I say, don't you feel inferior that you will not do whatever it takes to make $20 to help feed your children every week? That don't make you feel inferior. So we have in our lives bad teeth. Bad teeth. If you're walking around with bad teeth that hurt all day long and all night, that is what you want in your life, because you don't have to have that. People are not browbeating you to have these things in your life. There's choices that you see that you let stay there and reside there. If you got a woman that is out there sleeping with men for money, it's in your life because you have in your life what you want. If you didn't want that, that would not be there. Okay? You already, knowing in your strength, have gotten rid of so many things and put your foot down and say, don't bring that here. I don't want that. You ain't doing it. When you put your foot down, what happens? What happens when you put your foot down? When you make that decision. Intelligence and data is smarts in action. You have to put in action what you know. And put in action isn't always talking and discussing, saying this person did this. You need to have your overcomer. You need to have your overcomer talk after a while. We all vent and go on, but you need an overcomer testimony after a while. I used to be involved, as you say, with those lower level women. Now I don't. I don't speak on those women. I don't make comments because it's not part of my lifestyle. It's not part of my day. I don't bump into them everywhere I go in my community because I'm on a different place. I'm at a place. I'm not just talking about them, taking them further down. I'm living my level life. And I don't have to mention anyone else to live my level life, okay? So men, be wary of that example you're giving to young youth of complaining and whining. Some of y'all feel like the beta male came about because of what women did. And you're really going to have to check yourself to see if beta male came about by your Adamish in the Garden of Eve actions. Did your beta-ness that you hate so much come from Adamish in the garden? All right, so let's get to this belief about women. Men believe women manipulate, attention-seeking, inconsistent, and emotional. And we're going to say, okay, women, if I agree with you 100%, I'm also going to say men know how to manipulate, called game. They are attention-seeking. They call themselves king. They join gangs to get a position and title. They always think that they should be head of and others under because of gender roles. They need that there. They're inconsistent. They talk about nasty women, but they are always with women with drag queen makeup, extensions, and a butt paid for by some other man. Okay, so men are inconsistent and they're so emotional because they keep on saying, people are doing this to me. Why are women doing this to me? The white man is doing this to me. Brothers of black on black crime, they're doing this to me. You can't get it here because the government is doing. I wish you would take that out of your vocabulary. Everybody know, we all know the struggle, but if you got to keep going on what people are doing to you, you're never going to get to what are you doing. What are you doing? I get people are doing things to you. I'm not taking them from you, black brother. But sooner or later, that lace got to get shorter, and yours got to come up at least too, saying, this is what I'm doing about it. Dr. Phil say, first thing is knowing what the thing is. First is knowing and admitting it, what it is. Once you see it and know it, then you can solve it. You can solve it. And it not be part of your life system anymore. Not all men, you. Start with you. And once you have all those tools and you have went through the journey, you can guide others with a light like Harriet Tubman. Once you took the journey, you can come back and get others and take them with you to that freedom. But sitting and talking about it for 10 years is not freedom. You're going down. You're taking bits and bits and bits of your spirit every time. You have to relive that thought and feel it and smell what goes around it. Make new visions in your head. Make pretty visions in your head. And it may not incorporate a woman at this point. But you should never bring a mate into an unhappy you, to an unsatisfied you, to a frustrated you, to a bitter. And don't invite anybody into that. Then you say, well, she want money to come into my mess. I don't know what to say about that. She wants money. All she wants, she's a gold digger. She needs money to come into my mess. Okay. All right. So we can see that. And I just want to say about blue pillars, they shun any attempts to grow a strong masculine personality. So I want to just throw in blue first. Shun any attempts to grow a strong masculine personality. But this is what I found in my research about the red pill people. They say you're a cult. You have difficulty understanding women. Females, you think, get away with things just because they are women. Women have it better than men. Men socially are disenfranchised. Feminism is a dangerous, damaging ideology. Sometimes that dry mouth forget you. Ideology society has that's anti-male. Gender roles should be done, and men that are red pill men should be attracting and seducing as many women as possible. That is how you become an alpha male. Okay. It also say red pill male feels like men are undervalued and women are overvalued. Okay. So we have within you, you're expressing within you a feeling of being wronged on many levels. You feel inside wronged. And what that means is hurt. You are hurt and hurting about many things. Many things. And on a lot of these things, you can take the woman out. And just like you say, you can still be devalued. It's not just about women. The black man is devalued in the United States. So you don't even have to drag a woman devalues you. America devalues you if it wasn't another woman here. Okay? So we don't need to be throwing her in there. She can be taken from the equation and still go on, okay? All right. Socially disenfranchised. That's the way the world sees you. Has nothing to do with women again. You get up, you breathe, you're responsible for the person you project in the world. What did they say? Your first impression is the main impression, because after that, that's the way people are going to formulate, label you, and put you in a position. You have to develop your first impression and your continued impression of who you are. And if that is, I'm rough, tough, and have strength, that brings nothing into your life. That adds nothing to say I'm strong, I'm healthy. That doesn't bring value at any kind of level. To be indispensable, you must be indispensable. You don't chase after people and tap them on the shoulder and say, hey, look, I'm an alpha male. I make decisions. I'm in control. You go over there and learn how to take care of the family, maintain the household, and we got smooth sailing. If you believe that lie, you're in trouble. And like I said, it may not even be part of your DNA. From the Garden of Eve, you are sons of Adam. All sons of Adam. So it may not be in your DNA to do any of that. To go on, if we still have pains during childbearing, I think y'all have a lot of sweat by the toil of your brow. Life was made hard for you to get and to produce and to have without sweat and hardship. Women were just given pain for delivering a child, and that our desires would be towards man. That's when it flipped, people. That's when it flipped, people. Our desires would be towards men. Like I said, in the animal kingdom, he had to court, he had to put on shows, he had to show strength, fighting ability, nest building abilities, all of that before his genes would be allowed into the gene pool and considered strong. That flipped when we had to be under the desires. Now we do all that work just to get your attention. We fight for your desire. We go into surgery to get your desire. We buy clothes and shoes. One time I think I probably had 200 pairs of shoes, jewelry. We do every devilish thing possible to get your attention. People said that means that we had to obey you. That is not the language. People, from lack of knowledge, people perish, okay? I have a book, When Will Eve Be Forgiven? I'm going to say that again. When Will Eve Be Forgiven by Dorothy Guyton. That talk about this male and female dynamics as we want to reach back into gender roles, how they happen, about childbearing, about all kind of relationships. Sometimes Bible thumpers will tell you if you start here in the Bible, everything will be right. No, if you have an understanding and wisdom and search for truth and enlightenment, not information to support your grudges, not information to support your frustrations, not information to support your rage, but let me have information that I can turn and twist and see truth. Not in general, that I'm going to blanket everybody, but I'm going to look and see how the world spins in my area, what's going on in my yard, what's going on in my life, because everything springs from you outward. What you have and what you encourage and what you're attempting to do and your failures, your successes, all of that goes before you get married to a woman and shaped and molded. The two of you become one. But to become a one, you have to know how things blend together. Like we have the purple man, they say it's a red pill and blue pill man joined together, stirred together to come to red. Now you have incorporated traits from the blue person and traits from the red person, and you blended them, and now you have a new definition. A new definition. That's what you're doing each time you're seeking the opposite sex. When you're seeking a joined relationship, when you're seeking commitments, when you're seeking possibly marriage, you're taking a blue pill person, a red pill person. You know what you consist of. You do. So you should know what the blue pill consists of, right? Then you have the decision to make. Are we going to join and become one? All right, I'm running long, but I want to say this before I get off. Scientists have said that there are traces of DNA left from sperm that is incorporated into the cell memory of the woman's reproductive system. That means a little bit of each man that have had sex with a woman is left behind in her. Then we want to say, why the mutation? If you've heard women say, oh, cervical cancer was on the rise, they had to freeze the cervix to kill those cells to keep women from having it, and the HPV vaccination they are saying for girls to have, this is it. Multiple partner, sexual partner increases HPV and chances of cervical cancer, because your DNA is adding different codes to the DNA